So we're back again to talk about the Ajna Light and the beautiful development and growth that this system is going around the world and offering us all so much opportunities of centering and living in the heart. So one of the questions that has come up a few times with me is the question, because the light is quite bright, and there isn't glasses or anything that you wear on your eyes. And some people have asked, is it dangerous, or maybe you could elaborate a little bit on that for us.
Okay. First of all, light itself is not dangerous, but it can be uncomfortable for people who are photophobic. For example, if you have a hard time going out into the sun on a sunny day, then you might find it intense. If you have eye strain from overworking on the computer, you might find it intense. It's very easy to switch the brightness down. One thing I've found is that it's very interesting with certain ethnic groups who are much more connected with an understanding of energy, they only need a small amount of stimulation. So for example, I took the light to Heart, Mind, Body Festival in Singapore a month or so ago, and it was nearly all Chinese people who came. And I had it on 10%, and they got amazing journeys, really, really amazing journeys. Westerners in general, I guess because we have thicker skins and we're more external in our consciousness, it's not quite we need, but the extra stimulation allows us to move through our ideational or psychological barriers, because we have very strong egos and very strong will. So the light at that intensity overrides that. That's why it goes directly to the body. Now, at Chiang Mai University, the study that's started in October of 2014 just started. Dr. Chris Fisher, he's not only one of the top 10 Buddhist scholars in the world, teaching people from the States and other countries, but also teaching the Thai monks to become teachers in the top university in Buddhism in Thailand, also in Chiang Mai. He's a medical doctor as well. He's a psychiatrist and a surgeon, a very amazing man. And I brought it to his office, put it on his desk. He was out in a minute, had a little smile on his face. So he knew what the light was about. He said it has no danger, physiological danger. And he also took it to 3 other doctors who he knows, and they all agreed there's no danger. If you're an epileptic, or you're from an epileptic family, then it's advisable not to use it. But Mind, Body, Spirit in Melbourne, a really beautiful young Frenchman came along, and he just loved the light, very free spirit. He's an epileptic, but he had taken himself off medication 3 or 4 years ago, and he learned how to serve his epilepsy, how to use it as a tool, which I believe it is, not as a curse. So he was, literally speaking in tongues under the light, and moving and allowing the energy, the stimulation to come. He was dancing with the light. I hadn't seen somebody do that before. You know, that's
interesting you say that, because some of the work that I do is a meditative movement. And I know that when we have a deep alignment with our heart center or our soul and the body together, there's a natural movement and sound that comes out. And it's an expression of sort of the pureness who we are. So what a great story about this young man. So ultimately what you're saying is the intensity of the light can change. We can manually change that as a practitioner or a therapist for the person depending on their needs. But either way, if it's lower or higher, it's still safe, and anyone can do it. Do you think children could go under it?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I've been learning so much by going to these festivals, and in the Perth Conscious Living Expo, which was in September 2014. My favourite man, he was this young boy. He was very proud because he was nearly going to be 7. His name was Levi. And he had the biggest eyes I've ever seen. Just an amazing green, these beautiful green-blue eyes. I mean, he didn't seem like some of this world, to be honest. And his mum's very aware. His mum loved what I did. Now, this young man, Levi, he went around the whole expo and he told his mum there are only 2 places that have clean energy. One was the light, the ocean light, and the other was this beautiful golden meditation tent.
Wow.
And so he was skipping school that day. His father made him go to school the next day. But his mum said he was going to be back on Saturday and Sunday, so I gave him a pass to the booth. And he came in on Saturday and said, "Can I have 20 minutes of Delta, please?" In his very first time on the light, he said he was seeing all these coloured stars and flying through space.
Oh, wow. You know, well, we know a lot of children now on planet Earth are evolved on many, many levels. So I think they're going to guide us. You know, I remember a quote from one of the masters saying, you know, the children are going to guide us. And I think they'll understand things like this much faster. And we have to learn it. They've already got it. So.
Yeah, he totally knew. And for him it was absolutely normal. And I gave him my crystal. He hadn't done any crystal healing, so I said, this man's is asking for some help. And so Levi was doing this. And the man, he'd been doing yoga for, I think he said 40 years or something, an older man. He said, this is a master. He said he could feel everything that was going on and cleansing in his body.
Wow.
So the light is magic, our nature is magic, our true being is magic. When we let go of our ego consciousness that we have to control and manipulate and make our lives a certain way that's safe and secure.
Sure.
When we open up, then magic happens. And the light, the Ajna Light is just a tool, but it is a tool that accelerates that process for people to come into love and trust. And it's self-love when it comes down to it. It's a journey from here to the heart.
Wonderful.